Well, hello. It is the 31st of March, back at Wyreside, fishing peg 14 S2, here with Pete, 3 nights. So it's the Easter week, it's Good Friday this week, so we're here Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and leave Friday. We've got to be off by lunchtime. Wanted to avoid the Easter weekend. It will be round, and it's not what I like. So we thought we'd come, have a few days, and then be off site before it got really busy. There are 4 other anglers on the lake at the moment. So 6 in total, including Pete and myself. So it's lots of space. It's not very hectic, which is good. I got here a few hours ago, just slowly set up. Got the bivvy up. Weather is terrible. It's really mixed bag. We've had some tremendous hailstorms. We've had a really strong wind, which has in the last hour started to kind of lift a little bit, really eased off. But we've got some pretty well, some blue skies at the moment looking out of the bivvy, so hopefully it can stay that way. But I think we're going to have a rough night. I think the weather forecast says we're going to have a bit of a rough night, so fully expecting that. Okay, I'll show you where I'm fishing. Just going to go and bait a couple of these spots. And a kilo of krill just air drying, a couple of hours. So I'll put some in. Bit of a lead about earlier. Didn't really see too much. Don't really find any gravel. So I'll show you where I'm fishing. Beautiful day, mixed weather, really mixed bag. We've had hail, beautiful sunshine, rain, wind, a lot. Right. Spin you around. So that's where I'm bivvied up. Right, so where am I fishing? My right hand rod is kind of straight in front, probably around there-ish, probably 40-45 yards out. The second rod is kind of towards that bank. A couple of rod lengths off it. I've put some boilies there. Second rod's over by that far bank. A couple of rod lengths off it. And the left hand rod is under this tree. So round about here. Wanted to fish a margin. Wanted to fish a margin in this trip, and fish it for the whole trip. Something I don't really do. So left hand rod's gone under that tree. Peg 14 is obviously a corner swim, and it's renowned for holding the fish. Obviously peg 9, which is kind of that way, the corner swim down there, similar thing. We had a very big crosswind that was going left to right. Still is, not quite as bad. And I just thought to myself, this is the lake, or the end of the lake that I wanted to fish. The real reason for that is because whilst it's a little bit kind of choppy here, that end of the lake, which you can't really see, it is really choppy. I'll just show you. I walked down to Pete's Peg and I just thought to myself, I think they're going to be on the back of this. I can't see them following this wind. This is Pete's Peg. I just kind of try and zoom in. The water's a lot more choppier, particularly in that corner. So I thought that fishing this side was possibly better. We'll have to wait and see. And that's my theory. Obviously you fish pegs 13 and 14, obviously this is 14 that I'm on. You look out, you're naturally drawn to the island. But I wanted to fish the corner. It's a corner swim, so let's fish it. You know, certainly going to have 24 hours with my rods, kind of this part of the lake, which is where they are. Just see how I've not been out for, well, since the start of January. It's the end of March now. So apart from that session that I had at the start of January, which was my last video blog, I've not been out. So I've missed pretty much 3 months. Not overly concerned. Obviously it's cold weather at this time of year. Very, very long nights. Not much daylight. So if you're going to miss a part of the year, I don't feel like I've really missed out on too much. Unfortunately, it's meant that I've not really got the value for money out of my winter ticket. I had intended to do some kind of one night sessions between January and March, the end of March. That's not happened. I looked at my diary from last year and I'd been out five nights. I've done 5 nights on the bank between January and March. I haven't done any since that's the start of the year when I did that 3-night session on point. So I probably won't be getting a winter ticket again. It cost, you know, it was 190 quid, and I need to get more value out of it. So this is kind of the last couple of episodes of the winter fishing campaign. So I've got a little sort of series on YouTube that'll come to an end after this session. I'm not really too sure what I'm going to do next. I don't think that I'll be getting out fishing as often as I'd like. But the good thing to tell you is that I've booked a week at Wraysbury. So Wraysbury is a bit of a famous water, which I'll tell you about later on in the blog. But I've managed to book a week there. It's opening on the 1st of April for day ticket fishing. So we booked a week there for June, but I'll tell you about that later. It's 7:15. Obviously we're here after British summertime started, so it's 7:15, and it's still light, and it will probably stay light for probably another hour. I think sunset's officially 7:45, but I think we'll get a bit more daylight after that. Take a while for it to go dark. So yeah, here I am. It's good to be out. It's nice to have some fresh air. Got some other stuff to tell you about as well. Hopefully it'll be a slightly different blog. I have spent some time looking at my videos last couple of weeks and trying to see where I can do better, both from my fishing, my filming and my editing perspectives. So yeah, got more things to talk to you about. Want to talk about more things, but we'll get to those in due course. So we've got tea cooking, nice bit of pasta meat, nice sauce, got a bit of parmesan, some pasta. Watching or listening to England on the old radio, playing Italy, 0-0 at the minute. Yeah, could be worse, couldn't it? Good to be outside. Well, good morning. 7 o'clock, 1st of April. Just woke up. Weather looks a little bit overcast. Still quite chilly. We had a bit of wind through the night. Some pretty strong gusts from time to time, but nothing too significant. Had a run at 4 AM, right hand rod. Didn't really seem to be anything significant, and on the end of it I'm not sure that it was a carp. It sort of came off pretty much as soon as I picked the rod up and started to tighten down the reel. Right, just gonna wake up and then make a coffee. Hello. Got my coffee, I'm happy. So, rigs. All three are fishing Johnny Max, so multi-rigs. I'll just show you. Left in the middle rod, fishing these new sticky signature pop-ups. As you can see, come in different colours, 3 different colours, like a washed out white, washed out pink and a washed out yellow. That's what I really like. I like the washed out pop-ups as opposed to the really kind of fluoro ones. And they smell so sweet. They really do smell just like a tub of toffees. So, left in the middle rods are out on these, on multi-rigs, and the right hand rod is also on a multi-rig, but I'm fishing it with a bottom bait. So I've just got 2 sticky baits krill, 16 millers, tied onto some bait floss that's tied onto the ring of the multi-rig. That's what I had the run on in the night. So I told myself before the session that I should fish a little bit more on the bottom. I usually start with 3 rods on pop-up, so at least I've put 1 on a bottom bait from the get-go. So in terms of my rods, my right hand rod is there, my middle rod is off that margin there, and then my left hand rod is here. Just to the left of that There's a tree. So I'm just off that. As I say, nothing off the left or middle rod, so I'll probably relocate. As you can also see, the wind's really died down, so it's not as choppy as it was, and it's a lot more pleasant to be out in actually. So I may reposition left and middle so that they're a bit more in front of me. So, you know, I just fan 3 out here. I'm going to have the coffee, probably have a reel in and a bit of a recce, and get them back out and get some breakfast done. Breakfast, the Diablo. Sandwich maker, courtesy of M. M introduced me to this. And I've not looked back. Two slices of bread with whatever you want inside it. I'll just show you this. And it just toasts it. So I've got cheese and beans. Turn it over. That side's virtually done. There you go. To the side now. Lovely. I'm gonna have this, reel in, see where we're up to. Just had a chat with Pete. He had a run at 5. Not a full-blooded run, just a few tickles that kind of died away, so he didn't lift it, didn't strike. Right, it's Jimmy's breakfast time. There you are, finished article. Nice toasted sandwich. Dollop of brown sauce. Game on. Right, it's going to go to the top of the bivvy, behind a swim, or peg. Just see what we can see. Decent view up here. Watch the water for 2 minutes. In fact, I've not got my receiver with me, so not that I'm going far, but I'll just turn the volume up on the probably noticed. Gone back to my Delkims. Talk to you about that later. There is a story behind it. There we go. So I've got a decent vantage point for having a look at the water, see what's in front of us. So I am kind of fishing one under that tree, one on that far bank, and then one kind of there. I'm thinking of, now that the flow has eased off a bit, I'm thinking of maybe fanning them out more in open water. Yeah. 2 guys on the point, they're packing up. And the 2 guys that were on the roadside have left. They went first thing. So once the two lads on point go, me and Jonesy will be on our own. Just get my old receiver. Bit of a mooch. Don't want to go without this. Oof. Yeah. Guys at Wyreside have been doing, sorted this path out. That's lovely. All the way down to the cars. Check this out. This is peg 12. Little walkway off the path down to the peg. I'll put some steps in. Look at that. That's proper bang on. And they've done the same for 11 as well. So fair play. Martin, Callum and Bob and everyone else that's worked on this does look a lot better. Right. Just have a mooch round into this corner. So my peg is only there. A lot of this I can't fish too, because of the tree that overhangs to my left, but I do like this bay. You know, some features around the edge, particularly over there. There's reed beds. I do like it. It's starting to rain. So back to the bivvy we go. Quick tidy up. I'm always tidying that bivvy. Rods will be in. Check the rigs. Decide what I'm doing. I need to get some bait out as well. Put a bit of a mix together. Yeah, why not? Alright. Let's crack on. So right, what we've been doing for the last half an hour. I've wound all three rods in and had another good feel about a good 20 minutes. Found some gravelly spots straight out in front of me, 16 wraps. So clipped all three fishing rods up to 16 wraps, clipped up the spud rod 16 and a bit. I want my rigs before my bait, if that makes sense. In terms of the rigs, these are the two pop-up multi rigs. So, usual drop-off lead. And then it'll sit like that. There's a BB shot under that blob of putty, and then you can just see there's the choddy size 6 rig ring, and then tied on with some bait floss. See what I mean about them being washed out? I do like them. I've also We're making some spod mix here. So some particle, half a tin of corn, some crushed up boilies and some whole boilies. So I'm going to get that out. So there you go. Productive 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes. Just going to nip to the car, whilst the rods are out, come back and get them out. Right, it's 12:15. All 3 rods are back out. Fanned out, 62 yards out, that's 16 wraps. Put half a dozen sponfuls of my feed, so particle, crushed boilies, whole boilies, bit of corn. So that is kind of there. Left hand, middle, right. I'm a good way off the island. Don't want to fish up tight to it. That's where I found my gravel, so that's what we'll go with. Pete had a chat with Matt earlier. Apparently we're going to get a deluge of rain this afternoon, but apparently the wind's done for this trip, so that'll be a bonus. Right, I think it's time for a cup of tea and a bit of a tidy. Forever tidy in this bloody bivvy. Just can't keep it tidy, look at it. Look at it in there. Just having a look at Wyreside Lake. And it looks like somebody over-egged the spom. Just sat nicely in that tree. That has been misjudged without a doubt, because that's not just at the bottom of that tree, it's in the middle of it. There you go, we all lose equipment. I've done it myself. So it's 4 o'clock. Just had an hour's kip. Woke up and Pete had got one on the bank. Nice £16 mirror. Caught from about 90 yards out. So top angling from Jonesy. It's just starting to rain a bit. Nothing serious. Matt did sort of predict this. Matt the bailiff did say it was going to rain today. I've had no action. The only action I've had is swans picking up my line when they were swimming past the end of my rods. Not exactly what you need. So I think I'm going to have to do something different. Just not sure what yet. I don't really want to start and just fire them everywhere. I might bring them a little bit closer to me. Fish all 3 at say 40 yards out. I might do that. So it's 6 o'clock. I've just put the rods back out. I brought them in, changed the pop-ups on the pop-up multi-rigs to krill pop-ups. Oh god, here we go. Swan carnage. Please don't come any closer. God for that. Right, yeah, the two multi-rigs that were being fished as a pop-up, I've swapped those pop-ups to krill pop-ups. So sticky baits, these bad boys, which you might be able to see. The light's not great, obviously I'm in the bivvy. And the left-hand rod I've taken the multi-rig off that and put a hinge stiff rig. Forgot its name then for a minute. And again put a krill pop-up on that. Had another feel about earlier, and I'm fishing quite close in for a couple of reasons. One, I found a nice looking spot, probably 10 wraps, a little bit less than that. So, you know, 40 yards, so not far at all. So I wanted to fish that because it seemed like quite a clean area. The other thing, I'm expecting this place to get really hammered tomorrow and on Friday, so I don't want to be fishing outside of my zone, so it seems to make sense to be fishing what's comfortably mine. So also I think that that's probably suits my style of fishing as opposed to trying to whack it out 90 yards. So that's the thinking there. It's raining quite heavily, as you can possibly hear on the bivvy. Gonna get some tea soon. I had a couple of hours this afternoon just wandering up and down the bank behind me, which is obviously, as you saw earlier, raised in relation to where my bivvy is. It's there's a little bit of an incline, so you can get quite a good view of the water. I had a good hour just walking up and down the bank, really, seeing what was in front of me, seeing if I could see anything. Didn't see a damn thing. For a very, very brief moment the sun came out. I was hoping that it'd stay out, and you know, that might make it easy to spot stuff, but it didn't. It soon disappeared. So that's where we are at the moment. Rods are back out. They'll stay out. They'll certainly stay there tonight, and possibly for the rest of the session. I am going to just catapult a few boilies out over that spot. Yeah, I'm not gonna be spotting at that range. Still, just Pete and I fishing Sunny 2. Nobody else is on. So loads of the manor at the minute. Some people might turn up tonight, given that we've got a bit more daylight, but I can see the bulk of people arriving tomorrow ahead of the Easter weekend. Going back to the alarms, I think what it shows is how kind of critical, you know, your kit is, and how you've got to have confidence in it. Because as soon as you cast your rod out and you put it on your pod or your bank sticks, that's it. You know, you're no longer really in charge of the situation. You might have found a spot and baited it and put it in the in the right place, but as soon as you cast it and walk away from that rod, it's all down to the kit. So I think, I'm not saying that you need to go and buy the most expensive stuff, because I absolutely don't believe that to be true. But I think you've got to be confident in what you've got and what you're doing. Quickly you can, if you struggle with a couple of sessions, you can start and question my rigs. You know, are your rigs working? Is my bait working? Do I need to change rigs? Do I need to change bait? And as soon as you get into that world, it will quickly turn into a cluster. You know, I do find it where you have sessions where you'll struggle, as opposed to sessions where you'll do really well. And I think trying to kind of convince yourself that everything works is time well spent, really. I seem to do very well on multi-rigs, and then I have periods where I don't do well. Well, I know that the multi-rig works, and I think it's as much about what pop-up I'm using, or or, you know, as opposed to the rig not working. I also think that really, whenever, and this is something that I've not always done, I think you should try and have a rig that works on the bottom and works popped up. And I think that in any session you should try and use both and try and help you determine which one's working that particular time. But as soon as you start and complicate it, and you've got 10 different variants of a rig that will fish on the bottom or a rig that will fish a pop-up, I think you're just making life really difficult. So the kind of multi-rig and the hinge stiff rigs are my two rigs that I use when I'm fishing off the bottom, and I don't use anything else. I just find it kind of narrows. If you narrow your options, you kind of narrow things that can go wrong. And as soon as you start and try and do what the magazines are telling you to do and changing this, changing that, I think it just becomes a world of pain. And suddenly this pastime, this hobby, becomes a lot less enjoyable. It does for me, at least, anyway. Noticed on Facebook earlier that Corda had said that they were starting to manufacture body washers so you could stay clean on the bank. These washers came in various different flavours, banoffee, fruity squid, etc. Obviously suddenly realised what date it was. Yeah, and I'll say no more about that. But nice that they can take the mick out of themselves. Yeah, I thought it was quite comical. So well done whoever thought that one. So 7:15 and the rain continues. Thankfully the winter skin is on and doing its job. But yeah, it looks a little bit grim out there, doesn't it? I think if this was a game of cricket, we'd be having an early tea and playing some cards in the dressing room. Yeah, it's pretty damn wet. Well, it's 7:15. I've just seen my first fish. One rolled right in front of me. Kind of like here. Really quite close. My rods are probably a rod length further out. But nice to at least see a fish. Just going to keep an eye on it for the next. Oof, there's another one. It's not a million miles away. And then my rod's there. Going to watch the water. The rain's just eased off. Just started again. Just do with it staying away for half an hour. Come on, the carp gods. Well, it's 8 o'clock at night. No action. Still raining. Doesn't look like it's going to stop. I need to check the weather up. There we go. This is what's in front of me. Well, good morning. It's 6:30 Thursday. This beautiful sunrise. Just going to watch the water for half an hour, see what I can see. Yeah, not a bad view, is it? Right, we'll watch the water. Fish just come to the surface there. That's why I'm up at this time. Just to see what I can see. They do tend to be active. Maybe gives you a few signs as to where they are. Don't do enough of this really. So I promised myself that I'd be up earlier. So here I am. Yeah. I think the rain eased off about 2 AM. I was out at the bivvy and it did seem calmer. Water was quite still actually. In terms of today, I believe it's going to be fine and cloudy, which is acceptable. I think it's going to warm up a little bit, and I do mean a couple of degrees, not major. You never know. Right. Another 10 minutes forecast. What's out there? Well, good morning. It's now 11 o'clock. Been quite active since getting up at 6 to have a look at the sunrise, watch the water. Had a good look. Saw a bit of activity around the lake, so it was well worth doing. Something I want to try and do more of. I am a bit lazy in terms of staying in bed from time to time, but it was well worth getting up for an hour and then just getting back in bed and watching the water from the bed. And then I dozed off about, what were 7:30, woke up at 9. Had some porridge, fish thing, and I get these, oh it's so simple, just add hot water, no faffing around, really quite nice and warm you up, just what you need. So I had that early doors and then had a bacon panini. That went down well. Had a coffee, about to make another one. And that's my coffee's done for the day. I've brought all 3 rods in. Check the rigs. They all look good. Decided to fish both my spots. So early on in the session I found that clay spot which was 19 wraps, which was about 62 yards out, and then later on I found a spot that was nice and gravelly around 40 yards. So I've put probably 4 sponfuls of my particle mix over both those spots. So I'll put my right hand rod out on the 19 wraps at 60 yards, and I'm going to put my other 2 rods closer to me on the spot that's 40 yards. So I'm kind of fishing 2 ranges, 1 rod there and then 2 rods here. They're the two spots I've found, so it makes sense that I stick rods on both of them. I've put my right hand rod out, as I say, that's gone to 60 yards. I'm yet to put the other two out. I'm just going to leave this free of rods for a while. Took a few casts to get it right. Obviously I'm fishing to the clip because I've marked my rod out using the distance sticks. I'm quite particular about it hitting the clip and being in the right spot. So that's in the right spot now, so I'm happy with that. So we'll see what we shall see. I'm just going to leave it 20 minutes, as I say, just rest 40 yards out with no lines in the water. Still nobody else on S2, which is a little bit surprising. I thought people might have taken the day off ahead of the long weekend. Obviously it's Good Friday tomorrow. I do expect people to be turning up after dinner, so I want all my stuff out there. On the spots that I want to fish. I think today is going to be the best day. When I looked at coming these few days, when I first looked, I think the weather was probably 8-9 degrees all 3 days. That then changed. And it sort of dropped to about 7, and it was obviously very, very rainy, very wet. So I'm just going to have a look now on the weather app, see what today's got in store. So yeah, 7 degrees now. It's going to get to 8 degrees up to 6 o'clock. It's going to be sunny with some clouds. We've got pretty much guaranteed rain from 2 o'clock in the morning through to, well, at least 10 tomorrow. So I'm going to have a bit of a sort out tonight and then get some stuff in the car that I don't need tomorrow, just to make packing up tomorrow a bit easier. Yeah, I won't need all the bags that I've got, so it makes sense to be as organised as I can be. Yeah, when I get my rods out, I'm going to leave those out, so it's 11 o'clock, get those out for past. Probably leave them out till about 7. Bring them in, check them out, and then cast them out for the night. They're going to be out all day. Want to have a good spell fishing. Right, I'll show you where they are. Right, so all 3 rods are out now. So there we go. The right hand rod is towards the island, 60 yards out, probably in the middle or so, which is about there. And then middle and left are more here and here. So I've got 2 nice spots. Seems to make sense to make use of both the spots I've found. I guess all I need now is to hope that the fish don't swim between them. But this is the last day, so I've got 24 hours left, so I am gonna try and again do what I did yesterday, watch the water. As you can see, it's a lot calmer than it's been all trip. So looking for signs will certainly be a lot easier. So I'm really going to keep my eyes peeled. Beautiful sort of skies, a few wispy clouds, but this is kind of really what we were hoping for all 3 days. So this is the day. So I need to maximise my fishing time. Be nice and organised. As I say, I'm going to mix some more particle. I'll put that out later. There's going to be more anglers turning up today, so I want to try and encourage the fish to be, you know, in my swim. It's important to really try and watch the water, see what's going on. It's a beautiful water when it's like this. It very rarely is. Most times when I come it's kind of a little bit choppy, but this is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful for carp fishing. 8 degrees. Yeah, let's hope that this is a day when they want to have a bit of a munch. Right, quick tidy the bivvy again, sort myself out, watch this water. It's not a bad view, is it? Glorious day. Well, that's home for the next 23 hours 50 minutes. Just up on the bank behind my bivvy. Polarised bins on, seeing what we can see. Looking for a sign. This is my location for the next half hour, I think. It's good to see some insects. A little bit of a hatch. Spring is definitely on its way. Great to see. 1:30. It's lunchtime. Nice chilli, melted cheese, bit of mayonnaise. Lovely. Still a beautiful day. I'll get back and show you the lake in a few minutes. Just going to enjoy this. Alright, had lunch. Sorted the old pots out. I'll get back to some fishing. Just spin you around. So here we have it. Still a beautiful, beautiful day. Yeah. 2 more guys have arrived over there. They've set up. Imagine 1 or 2 will arrive as the day progresses. Rods are still out. As I said earlier, they'll stay out probably till about I don't know, 6 o'clock, maybe 7. And I will put some more bait out and then leave them, get them out again and leave them out for the night. Still no fish to talk about. Very little in the way of indication. I've had no bleeps or nudges. But we'll have to see how the afternoon progresses. Well, it's 2:30. Just in the bivvy, having a bit of a chill after lunch. Gonna head out up the bank behind the bivvy, put the polarised glasses on, see what we can see. Plans haven't changed. I'm gonna leave the rods out, put a little bit more bait out. Tea time, possibly about 7. Yeah. Put some new hook baits on for the night. Check the hooks. Take it from there. So it's 5:20. Still no action. Not going to do anything with the water being so calm. I'm not going to put any bait out. Just going to see how it goes. The latest I'll leave it is 7. And then we'll have a look-see. That should give me neck end of an hour before I lose the daylight. I think sunset's at 7:45 tonight, so you generally get a little bit longer after that, and it's quite a clear day, so hopefully I should get an hour if I started at 7. Certainly will bring the rods in and change the pop-ups. Yeah. Not seen any fish out at all around the lake today. Oh, what was that? I missed that. But that's not a million miles away from my rod, whatever it was. So I've just checked that little bit of film that I shot, and that was a fish that topped, and I would say that's right over my left hand rod. Not seen it since, but I think this is time to get outside, so sit on the chair and just right, it's 7:15. As I said, I've brought all the rods in. I've wrapped them up at the right distance, the right distances, and I've changed hooks on the multi-rigs and pop-ups on all 3. The middle rod will be going out as a white chocolate, sticky baits white chocolate. Left and right will be, let me pause that for you. Sky go on the mobile. So left and right will be krill, middle will be sticky baits white chocolate. All pop-ups. The right hand and the middle rod are multi-rigs, and the left hand rod will be a hinge stiff rig. So those are going to go out in the next 20 to 25 minutes. Now, bait. It's still very calm. I think I'm going to put some bait up after dark, looking out. So I think that's the best thing to do. No point disturbing anything now. Let's bait up after dark. It's all clipped up, it's straightforward. Right, I'm going to watch this water and find the opportune window. Okay, well, it's 8 o'clock. All 3 rods are now out. I've not put any bait out yet. I'm just going to leave that for a while. I'm watching the water. I've been doing for the last 20-25 minutes. A lot of silvers topping, jumping, putting a bit of a show on as they usually do. Not seeing any signs of any big carp, in all fairness. but it does look prime for a bite. So happy with where the rods are. Couple of them took a few casts to get into the right spots, but I'm happy now. Right. Let's watch this water for a bit longer. Right, well it's 10 o'clock Friday morning. Been up since 6. Had a terrific downpour throughout the night that stopped about an hour ago. So I got up, reeled the rods in, had a run to the car and slowly started to get everything organised. No fish, so I'm at the bailiff earlier. He was walking round getting the information for his catch reports, and he said that he'd checked on Sunny 1 and Sunny 2 and nobody had had anything. So I don't feel too bad about that. Anyway, we've got a couple of hours left in the session. Getting my landing out of the water, letting it dry. Got all my things drying over there, you see, in the trees. Couple of hours left in the sesh. I floated all 3 rods back out on the spots that I was on, so we'll see how things go. There we go. Not a lot more to report. Got a bit busier as we'd expect. Pretty much all the roadside swimmers are taken. It's been a difficult few days fishing. Certainly from a weather perspective, yesterday was the best day of the 3, so very much a rose between 2 thorns from that perspective. Got to say, I'm a little bit disappointed. I thought that yesterday looked really good for a turk, but the lakes just kind of switched off. But anyway, as I say, all the rods are out, and we'll see how we go. I'm just gonna have given the winter skinner a bit of a wipe down with the squeegee that I've got, just to get the excess water off. Let that dry. Let that dry for half hour. I'll take that off and I can pack away the contents. But yeah, a couple of hours left. Still time obviously, but yeah, not sure about what our chances are. Right, it's 11:10, it's the end of the sesh. Got the bivvy down. Just going to bring all 3 rods in. No fish, another blank. 6 nights I've spent here this year, not had a fish. Not going to get disheartened with it, but yeah, I think I'm going to go home and evaluate. Nobody's had anything out today, but it's not an easy water as we know. Anyway, great to get out. Good to get some fresh air, and I'll see you on the next vlog.